So there it is, that banana ball that every golfer hates seeing. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how to fix that slice with driver and turn it into a draw. Right then guys, nobody likes seeing that big left to right shape. That one that I hit there probably wasn't as bad as a lot of the ones that you guys are hitting, which is why you're watching this video. But today I'm going to show you how to stop slicing the ball with driver, and we're going to turn that slice into a draw. Hi guys, welcome down to Ali Taylor Golf. If this is your first time down, hope you're going to enjoy today's content. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you for taking the time to continue watching my content. So today's subject of stopping slicing the ball with driver, I think is something that so many golfers struggle with. And that extra cherry on the top would be eliminating the slice and turning it into a draw with this club. Because this is the club that really gets guys into a lot of trouble from the tee. And from there, they really struggle to get the ball in play and give themselves the opportunity to score. So the first thing we need to understand is what is causing the slice. Now, anyone who's been watching content will be aware. Anyone who hasn't, this will be really important information for you. So the slice occurs when the club face is pointing to the right of the line or the swing path of the club head. So that ball is then going to curve from left to right for a right-handed golfer. Now, depending on where the path is and where the club face is relative to the target is then relative to where the ball sets off. But to begin with, I'm going to talk about that one that's really shaping a lot from left to right. And there's a couple of really important steps that you've got to go through in order to stop slicing your driver and turning it into a draw. So when we look at that opening tee shot, we can see that the club face was pointing 7.4 degrees to the right or open to the club path. And the club path was swinging out to in 11.3 degrees. Right then guys, so as I've mentioned in videos before, when we're trying to get rid of that slice, particularly with driver, you know, the key thing is that that club face is pointing to the right of the swing path, and obviously that the swing path is moving left of the club face. Now the club face is a huge influence on where the ball sets off. So I think the biggest and most important thing for every golfer is first thing you've got to fix is that club face. So we need to try and get that club face pointing much closer, or if even just slightly close to the swing path. And in my experience, if you can start delivering that club face square or even a bit closed, you can then start changing that path. Because if that club face is coming back open and you swing from the inside, well, the ball just sets off to the right and slices even further. So that first shot I hit, as open and swinging across as I was, almost becomes quite a functional golf shot. So the first thing we're going to talk about is how we're going to fix the face, then we're going to change that path, and by the end of today's video, I'm going to have you eliminating that slice and drawing driver. So the easiest way of fixing the club face is take your normal grip on the club and then hold the club up in front of you, and all I want you to do is see how far you can rotate the club open and how far you can close it. Now you can see I can do pretty similar amounts both ways, but what I will generally see with most golfers is that they can really rotate the club face a long way open and yet really struggle to get that club face closing. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the hands and we're going to move both of the hands more to the right on the golf club or into a stronger position. Now it'll feel different to begin with, which is good, because if it doesn't feel different, we're not changing anything. But what you're now going to do from those hands being more to the side on the club is you're going to try that same exercise. We're going to see how much we can open it, which is much tougher, and we're going to see how much I can close it. So a lot easier. So straight away now we've got the hands in a position that should make it a little easier to get that club face closing. So then I'm going to give you a couple of little checkpoints in your golf swing. So with that new position of the hands, we're going to swing the club back to waist height, and what we now should feel and see is that club face will be looking much more down towards a line that the ball would be on. Whereas historically I would see golfers who slice the ball, already that club face is looking over there. So that first one is halfway back, that's good. And then on the way through, we're looking for that club face to be looking down to the ground much more, as opposed to from there looking up to the sky. So we're going to have that change of grip. We're going to work a little bit on feeling those two positions. And then we're going to hit a couple of shots. Now, obviously I'm not going to hit as many shots in the video as I would like you to do in practice, but if I still swing the club on the same path here, I should start seeing the ball setting off left and shaping to the left. That, for now, would be that first step in the right direction. So we're going to get those hands slightly more to the right, a little bit more in the fingers, slightly stronger. And now I'm going to make the normal swing and try and feel that club closing a bit more through the golf swing. And we can see, not a pretty shot, but we saw the club face was 4 degrees closed, and I actually swung the club, even though I wasn't trying to, on a very different path. Now, the big thing for me is I think the way your brain compensates for the club face is amazing in the golf swing. And the more golfers I see very, very open, they know that if they swing down, it's going to go over there. So to try and get the club back to target, they swing more and more that way. And it's amazing when you just change the hands, change how that club face works, how the brain can now swing a little bit straighter. And my club path there was almost dead straight. It was actually 0.4 degrees to the right. So I would want you to hit a few, feeling like that. That would be good. And I don't mind if they're still shaping that way, because now what we want to see is, instead of trying to swing normally towards the target, can I feel that I swing more to the right? So more from the inside. You've also got to remember that with driver, the golf ball's forward in your stance. Therefore, ideally, the club is moving up by the time it gets to the golf ball. Anytime the club is moving up in the golf swing, it's actually starting to move more left. So with the driver, you can definitely swing a lot more from the inside than you can with irons. But now we've got that club face fixed, we can start feeling like we work a little bit more on swing path. So got that grip, got that little rehearsal feeling for what I want the club face doing. Now, let's see if we can swing a little bit more to the right. Okay, so we can see again a different shape. It was a little bit out the toe, if I'm being honest. So that'll show that the club face wasn't quite as closed. So I still got the club face close to the path, and I still swung very, very slightly to the right. Now, even with that shot I've hit there, any of you golfers out there who currently slice their driver will probably be so pleased that the ball's shaping to the left and we're eliminating the right hand side of the course, that even to begin with, that'll be a really, really good shot for you. So let's try one more of those, slightly stronger grip. Again, feel that club face being, it's actually just more square, but just not as open as normal for you. And then again on the way down, we're going to swing more to the right. So it feels different. It'll feel very different for you guys who are slicing it. So again, just shaping maybe a little bit more than I would like to see. And if I'm being honest there, again, that was a little bit out the toe with the strike. So that's just accentuating that shape. So let's go one more, see if we can get a little bit less shape, but just with those key little thoughts and feelings that we've worked on. We can see that one setting off straight, turning over a tiny bit, and we look at the delivery of the club, I've swung 1 degree to the right from the inside, and the club face was 1.4 degrees closed. Right guys, so you could see there, I mean, incredibly simple with what I'm talking about. I'm not promising it's really that easy to do and that you'll do it as quickly as I've done it there. But the first thing, if you're going to stop that slice, like I said, is you need to fix that club face. And if by moving the hands into a slightly stronger position, certainly when you do that little test, if you can open the club face more than you can close it, you're really going to struggle hitting a draw, and you're going to find it really easy to slice the ball. So a slightly repositioned hands on the club will definitely assist. Have that little checkpoint halfway back, have that little checkpoint halfway through to make sure that you're using the club face correctly through impact. Now, like we saw, if you start using the club face correctly, if you're a typical slicer of the ball who then swings from out to in, you'll start hitting some pulls, you'll start hitting some pull draws, maybe even some pull hooks. When you can do that, that's when you're then able to start working on your club path. Now, it might amaze a lot of you that your club path will just change so quickly because your brain won't like seeing the ball set off left. So you know you're closing the club face, so you'll naturally swing more from the inside to try and get that club face nearer to the target. So you might hit better directional shots even without you consciously working on your path. But you have to fix the club face first, you have to fix club path next, and if you can do that, you're going to stop slicing your driver and even start hitting some baby draws. So guys, hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, like and share it, comment below, and I'll get back to as many people as I can. If you enjoyed today's content and you don't currently subscribe, please consider clicking that subscribe button. Remember to ring that notification bell, and then at least you'll find out when I drop a new video. Follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Ali Taylor Golf. Hopefully catch up with some of you guys down here soon. Stay in contact.